Welcome to Megazord Radio. It's the show where we watch and recap episodes of the Power Rangers television franchise. I'm your host, Nightster, and with me is the amazing co-host, the American guy. It's Riely. I mess up the intro every time. Every time.
American Guy. What is this? The Family Guy American Dad crossover episode?
Yes.
Okay, so you're Peter Griffin. I'm Stan Smith. Good morning, USA.
Cause I have nothing credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay them back yet. Tomorrow I might find myself a dining room set or this Boba Fett credit card debt. How you been, Riley?
Aren't we great? I'm so glad everybody's here to listen to this podcast. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Got my Switch to work, so I'm happy.
We just watched some children grow up.
We did.
That was so jarring. That was the most jarring part, is that obviously, because it's a YouTube series, episodes would take an amount of time to come out, and we watched them all together, and it stars kids who are like right at the precipice of puberty at first, and they start to go through puberty as the show progresses.
So we see them age.
even though in universe they're not that much time is going by.
So we kind of see them age through the course of one video.
Yeah.
Which was 2 hours, by the way, and we had to sit through. I say sit through as if it was a bad series, but it wasn't as bad as I suspected it to be.
No, I liked
I
it.
did like
I'm a fan of this.
it was good.
It's funny because of the limitations of human aging. That like it's the whole thing at the start is like Rita's like, oh, these are the fucking baby rangers, who cares? And in one of the last episodes, Jason is like clearly a foot taller than her.
Which even she points out, she's like, I thought you were shorter.
Yeah.
And there's one scene that I'll get to it. I'll mention it when we get there, but
there was one I DM'd you about. The worst part is like the climax, because previously, I think even previously in the show, they acknowledge the time that has gone by, but then they're doing the climax, which takes several episodes, so they can't do time skips in the middle of the time the climax. So throughout the process of this big conflict at the end of the show, they're like at several different stages of aging.
yeah. But there's one scene that again, I'll mention it when we get there during the actual rundown of the series that actually made me laugh. And I don't laugh at shit. But
what do you mean you don't laugh at shit? I hear you laugh all the time.
yeah, but if I'm watching something on my own, then I'm not gonna laugh. Even like
No, you're right. I also don't laugh very much watching stuff on my own.
if I'm talking to someone and they say something funny, I'm
Clover.
gonna laugh. Yeah, Clover's barking.
Clover's barking over there.
Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I'm sorry. But if I'm talking to friends or watching things with friends, I'm more likely to laugh because I'm in good company. But if I'm on my own, I just have no reason to. And
fair.
And but there is one scene that actually just it got me so good. And also we got a little sneak peek at the start of the video because it's a 2 hours 12 minutes like compilation of all the episodes of what they're gonna look like in the new season. And I dig it. We see Jason and Kimberly in their suits at the start. And I think you can see like the little power coin symbols on their chests.
Wait, you mean the Ninja Kid suits? No, I don't think so.
On the adult suits, like.
Oh, the Zordon and Rita's suits?
No. the new season.
Oh, the new
Because
ones. Okay.
if you go back to the video, then at the very first shot where it's like adult Kimberly and adult Jason saying, "Oh, the new season's coming out soon, so here's a recap of everything that's happened," or like here's a whole compilation of the of our series. It's them wearing their suits but with no helmets, and you can barely make out. I'll DM you some pictures. These
Yeah, I can see it's like weird and fade. That's a strange design decision.
It's like the T-Rex head on Jason, and then the pterodactyl body on Kim of their coins. I kind of like it, but it's a bit too like faint. Like you can barely make it out.
If you wanted to make this design decision, I would have just gone full bore. Like just put it there. Like golden and on display, like in the movie. Which is obviously what inspired this decision, but they didn't want to commit to it all the way.
Oh, which does remind me, I do like how mostly with the Green Ranger stuff, this series took inspiration from the live action movie and the show with how the Green Ranger was handled. Like I really like that.
And this is also just an example of how like the differences between male puberty and female puberty, where I feel like with males you just take them into Photoshop and stretch them up and put a little beard on them, maybe, and that's puberty. I do not recognize Kimberly at all.
I do not either. No,
Completely different.
she is very different. Yeah.
Is there a cast shot for this yet? I think there is.
Let me.
I want to see what the other ones look like now, if I can find it.
Power Rangers Ninja Kids season 3 cast shot. There is, yeah.
Okay, I can't find it, so send it.
All I did was go into Google Images. It's even got the suits as well, and typed Power Rangers Ninja Kids season 3 cast shot. That's what I typed.
Yeah, looking good. They're all grown up. Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think that is the same Tommy, which I'm glad about because I thought they recasted him, but I'm pretty sure that's the same guy.
It looks like it's the same guy. Yeah.
Because I was still trying to figure out what the fuck that Tommy or Dan thing was. Maybe that is for the Netflix one.
I'm also very happy.
Or maybe I've been tricked and that's not real.
I'm happy with the choice of Trini, like how she hasn't got a skirt, the way she didn't in the show. Like, and they could have very easily given her one to be more in line with the more modern shows, like all the females get a skirt, but because in the original Mighty Morphin show, because Yellow was a boy in Ranger, and his name was even Boy. Fun fact. That suit didn't have a skirt, so translated over, Trini didn't have one, and neither does this Trini. So I love these suits.
Yeah, they're really good. These are, I believe they're by an individual named Toku J. I want to make sure I'm thinking of the right guy. Because these were originally fan art suits. There was this series of famous fan art where some guy was redesigning all the suits. And I believe these are the Mighty Morphin ones. Yes, it is Toku J. So yeah, shout out to Toku J who designed the suits.
Big shout out, because I'd go as far as to say that apart from the original, this might be my favorite imagining of the Ranger suits by far that Power Rangers ever done.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's better than the 2017 movie because those were just Iron Man. It's better than the Power Rangers movie from before. It's just so good. But we have 2 hours of footage to cover.
Yeah, it's fair, but I don't think a lot happened plot wise, at least not until the end. I think we'll get through it in a reasonable time.
Fair enough. I do have the video up, so do you want me to just scan through and
I would like you to try to recall first, because if you're just gonna scan through the video, then it probably will take fucking 4 hours.
well, just I'll keep it open in case I miss anything big, but
Yeah, I'll try to fill in the blanks. I did just watch it,
yeah.
and as you describe it, it will probably remind me of things.
Well, it opens up with a very different Bulk and Skull from the show, because like Bulk and Skull, as we know them, are like they're bullies, but they're not typical like we're gonna beat you up type bullies. It's just we're gonna joke around.
I mean, they kind of are. It's just that their bully victims are so proficient in martial arts that they never achieve it.
True, but
Because they try to like attack Kim and Trini in the first episode, and like there are a couple times where they like attack Jason or Zach or Billy, and they just fail miserably because they're too powerful.
I think the closest they ever got was like I remember in one episode, Bulk just kind of grabbed Jason in his hold, and Jason got out. But I mean, he held him there for quite a while.
Was that the same episode where Jason was about to like fucking kill Bulk with one shot directly to the neck, and Zach was like, "Jason, hold, it's okay."
I don't think so, because I think I don't remember Bulk being hurt in that scene.
No, because he does, but I remember there was a scene where I don't remember what Bulk and Skull do, but they do something that upsets Jason so much that he has like this look in his eye and he's about to act, and it genuinely looked like he's about to systematically kill Bulk with a perfectly placed karate kick, and Zach has to talk him down.
I think it's a different scene. The one I'm talking about is in the juice bar, and the Rangers are sitting at a table, and Bulk and Skull are there to just pick on them, and Bulk just grabs like Jason, and he like, holds them in this like bear hug from behind, and I don't remember how, but Jason just gets out.
Yeah, but unfortunately, poor little Zach is not quite as competent as his 1990s counterpart.
No, because Skull has Zach in the exact same hold that Bulk had Jason. But this time, Bulk is in front of Zach, and he's just punching him. And you can see like a bloodied nose and a bruised eye. Like Zach is getting beat up here.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
But he's slippery, so he got out, and they tell him not to run. But he's like, "Well, I'm not that good at running, but I'm very good at climbing." And he climbs the like the playset.
Oh, we forgot to mention the first thing that I recall is Zach's epic one-liner, even in the face of getting fucking pummeled. When he's about to get punched for like the 5th time, he's like, "Wait, Bulk, don't do it." And Bulk's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because I don't want you to break your hand on my rock solid abs."
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah. See, the one-liners I always forget, but
I remember some of them.
and Bulk and Skull just realize that they can't get Zack from up there, so they're like, whatever, and they piss off. And then we're introduced to a young boy in red and a young boy in blue. So I wonder who these could be. It's Jason and Billy. Very clear when Billy starts talking Billy. Like he's got that smart cadence of like heavy vocabulary that Billy has, and Jason's just a normal kid. But it's very clear that he is Jason because I think either Billy or Zach just says Jason, and again he's wearing red.
And also he's wearing red, yeah.
So they show up, and Billy has a box in his hands. Not sure where he got it.
Yeah, no, that's a story for another time. As he looks into the camera and says,
So yeah, which we never got that story. Hoping
I'm surprised he didn't say there's a simple explanation for that, and then they got attacked, and
that
they never bring it up again.
oh, that would have been great. But yeah, we get no answer on where they got the coins, unless maybe it's picked up on later. Like, because there's that scene near the end, but I don't know. But he's got a box with the 5 power coins, and Jason's like, "Oh, this one has a T-Rex on it." He grabs that one. Zach grabs the Mastodon. Billy picks up the Triceratops, and then we're introduced to the other 2 Rangers, Kim and Trini, and we learn a very interesting divergence from every single version of Mighty Morphin ever.
Well, there's a very simple reason for that I'll explain what you said.
That Jason and Kimberly in this show are brother and sister. That's it.
Yes, that's because they're brother and sister in real life, and I guess they just didn't want to act like they weren't.
Which does bring up the question, though. Like, is she Kimberly Scott, or is she still Kimberly Hart?
Yeah, they never say her last name. They say Jason Scott. They say Tommy Oliver. I don't think they say any of the other last names.
Yeah, they don't. Like, maybe it's a different dad situation. Like, her dad was Hart, and like, she was adopted. Maybe,
Maybe.
or like,
I guess we'll see if they acknowledge the last names in this new season.
if it is a different.
I'm waiting to see what the plot holes are, right? Because there's no fucking way they all sat through this, right? The like actual production people at Hasbro that were working on this 3rd season
Yeah,
did not watch this whole thing. I don't believe them if they say they did.
yeah, like, because there's a lot of plot.
And even if the original writer's involved, it's been years, so I'm betting that there's some holes.
There probably will be, but um, I imagine they'll what's the word? When something is canon, but they change what is canon to something new.
Retcon.
Retcon, yeah. Like, and they might retcon some things to make it make more sense. Is my guess. But Trini grabs the Sabretooth coin, and she's like, "This one's got a kitty cat on it."
Oh, yeah, we didn't. Well, we kind of glossed over the fact that they're very. Zach is very anti-girl. And he's like, "What is your stupid little sister
Oh
doing
yeah,
here?"
that did happen.
And Jason's like, "Hey, I like my little sister."
Okay, back off her, Zach. She's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kim and Trini get the other coins, of course, and we get this nice overhead shot actually of the 5 Rangers holding like their palms upwards with the coins resting in their hands. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So they were looking at them.
This is decently shot for a YouTube series about 12-year-olds.
It is, yeah.
Less than 12. Kim is 8. We don't get any ages for anybody else. We know Kim is 8, and she's Jason's younger sister. So at youngest, Jason's 9, but he could be anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to tell. But
It doesn't seem like she's that much younger than them, so
maybe not, like
it is hard to
9.
tell. Try to figure it
Yeah.
out. It's impossible.
I'd say like 10, 11, maybe in that range. But the next thing that happens is we cut to uh, after they all walk off to go home. Jason wakes up, and we get a Spider-Man scene where I'm looking at himself in the mirror, and he's buff now, or he tries to look buff for the show.
Yeah, this is definitely a recommend. This is definitely a reference to Spider-Man, not the last superhero movie reference. The other one will surprise you. Not you, because I texted you about it, but the
Yeah,
audience.
One thing I forgot to mention is that in the scene where they're at the park, Kim is like, "Oh, I can do a cartwheel," and she fails to do so.
It does not do a cartwheel.
Which you actually texted me about that either, and I had about that as well, and I had to explain why.
No, I know. I'm not that stupid, Nightster. I understand the bit, but the problem is she seems confident she could do a cartwheel, and then she performs something, and nobody says it isn't. Like nobody acknowledges that what she just did was not a
Because they're
cartwheel.
kids, so they probably think it was. But then you said, "Oh, so she can do one. So why didn't they just reshoot the first one?" And I was like, "Do you not understand?"
Yeah, I understand what they're going for, but in my mind, it was like she thinks she could do a cartwheel. Nobody told her otherwise, so it seemed as if to me you were supposed to have taken that as a successful cartwheel. So I was like, okay, so I just assumed the actress was not capable of doing a cartwheel, but here she is doing a cartwheel. So it was just weird.
No, but it was a small implication that she wasn't athletic enough to do a cartwheel normally. But after Jason's little muscle,
I think there had to be a line from like Zach there where he's like, "That's not a cartwheel." Like there should have been some sort of indicator that what she just did was bad and not correct.
maybe nobody wanted to hurt her feelings.
Fair enough. Zach seems pretty willing to though.
Yeah, despite things about Kim regarding Zach, but we'll get there.
Yeah, they fumbled up all the crushes. They mixed them up.
Yeah, they did. It almost seemed like, apart from Jason and Kim for obvious reasons, at parts it almost seemed like everyone had a crush on each other, or just all the girls just
I didn't
liked
really
all the guys, apart from Billy.
I didn't really notice that. It seemed pretty solid that Kim was into Zach and Trini was into Tommy.
Maybe.
At least that's what is directly implied. I wasn't really digging into the deep implications of interactions between 10-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, I tried not to um look into it because it was weird, but I just kind of chalked it up into, oh yeah, kid love, they all like each other. That's just what it was.
Yeah, just playground crushes.
So Jason runs out the house, and Kim and Trini are both out in the garden, actually performing cartwheels, like proper good professional cartwheels. And then we're back to Bulk and Skull doing the exact same beat up Zack routine they did before. Like Skull grabbing Zack and Bulk beating him up. But this time, when Bulk tries to punch Zack, his hand hurts. And Zack throws Skull down, and he picks Bulk up by the collar. And then Jason shows up and he's like, "Dude, you have to stop. You got to stop this." And all the kids regroup, and they talk about how their bodies have changed and how they're able to do the cool stuff now. And Billy tells them, "It seems these coins have made us better at stuff," but spoken in a more Billy way. Because I can't remember what he says.
Seems they have changed our molecular structure and enhanced our abilities or some shit.
Yes, something like that. And then Trini points. And what do we see but putties? Some putty patrols. Which actually, I know it's hard to mess up those costumes because they're not really that complicated, but the costumes for the putty patrols aren't actually all that bad.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good.
But Trini approaches one and tries to befriend him, and it grabs her arm, and she just kind of grabs its arm and flips it over her shoulder. and it falls.
Man, Trini needs to learn the meaning of stranger danger. There's some little 3-year-old in a later scene that has a better grasp on it than her. He gets saved by somebody and he's like, stranger danger. Trini just sees a guy and she's like, yo, what's up?
Yeah, and not to mention that kid kicks the person in question in the in the
Yeah.
shin. So they're all like, yes manning Trini because she did a good job against that putty. But more show up and they start fighting. And the martial arts, I have to admit, they're pretty good for their age.
Yeah, these kids ain't bad.
Like they're pretty damn good at fighting. I commend them.
I dare to say, these kids are ninja-esque. they are ninja-like kids.
Yeah, like I mean, it's not really a high bar, but they are much better at me than fighting. I would.
Yeah, it's not a high bar.
I would not want to mess with these kids.
Yeah, no, these kids would kick my ass.
Oh, but yeah, the fight scenes. They get into a cool pose. More fighting, more martial arts, awesomeness.
Can we talk about, okay, I just want to say real quick, they made a channel called Ninja Kidz. From what I gathered, this was the first video they ever put out, was the first episode of Power Rangers Ninja Kidz. So that was their first ever video project. Why did they call it Ninja Kidz then? Because there are Ninja Power Rangers, and they chose not to be those ones.
Yeah, and like I get that if you're doing a Power Rangers show, you'd probably want to do Mighty Morphin, but why?
It's just like and it was in 2017 too, so like the Ninja Steel Halloween costumes were at the store and they looked a lot better than these Mighty Morphin costumes that I assume they made themselves.
Yeah, and the costumes are, apart from the helmets,
They kind of grew on
with
me.
exception for
They
one,
kind of grew on me.
like I could never get over those helmets apart from Green's, but the rest were fine.
I think the issue with them at first were that they were too big for their heads, and then they kind of grew into them, and they looked better.
Yeah, but why couldn't they just do what they did for Green, but for the others? Because that was actually
Because they made green later, I
that was a
guess.
full helmet that went like around. Like
Wait, they all had full helmets that went around. What do you mean?
they had bucket helmets that had a massive hole in the bottom. A Green's just had a small hole, so it actually looked.
Oh yeah, the hole was too big, but they went all the way around the head. That's not the problem.
You know what I mean, though. Like at the shape of the bottom of the
Yeah.
helmet, it was more accurate on Green. Have to mention the choreography of these fights, though, especially with the slow motion flips into the air. Like, oh my god.
Pretty good.
The person that filmed this is really good. And again, these kids can kick ass. But they celebrate their win. And they get teleported. Because ground shakes, there's the Mighty Morphin teleport effect. Flying through the air, which was a nice callback to the show. Like, just flying over the city, even. And we cut to Rita, who looks more like movie Rita than show Rita, who was watching the fight on a communicator, like a Ranger communicator that somehow has a screen popping out on it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's in the desert with her putties. And she tells them to try again and don't fail it this time because they suck. And then we're in a garden and putties show up to fight Jason and Billy. And suddenly Jason has a morpher, but he can't morph for some reason.
Wait, did we mention them teleporting?
Yeah, I did mention them teleporting, and there's most likely a time jump.
Okay, yeah. So they teleport, they do a time jump, and then Jason has the morpher, he can't morph. They explain. So I think they're taking this from the movie, because again, this was in 2017, which was the same time as the movie. where like in the movie they couldn't morph until they were like truly a team. And in the show, they're like the initial reason given is because Zordon assumes they are not the real destined Power Rangers, and Zordon and Alpha are trying to find the actual real destined Power Rangers so that they can morph. But then Jason and the rest become a truly epic team, and they do morph because they are the true Power Rangers, and they work together like in the movie.
I see. But why Jason has the morpher if he's not meant to have it is beyond me. Like, why would Zord?
Yeah, you'd think Zordon and Alpha would have just kept
Yeah,
them
like that's my
and
point.
sent them
Like,
home.
I
Yeah.
get the coins because Billy found them and passed them around, and maybe Zordon wants them to keep hold of the coins so that they don't fall into enemy hands because they can easily be traced back to the command center or something. But why give them the morphers? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, he tries to morph, it doesn't work. It even pans out like as if it's waiting for it to work, and then he just looks at Billy like, "What?" Yeah, this is the scene that I was talking about because they're fighting the putties in the garden, and while they're doing that, uh, Jason's mum walks out of the house, looks at them fighting these strange monsters, and is like, oh, um, what do you want for dinner?" And Jason like is like on top of one putty with another one just grabbing him by the neck, or like the arm is around his neck. He's like, he answers her, and then she's like, "Okay, it'll be ready in a minute," and she waves goodbye. Like, why do you not care about these kids?
Mother of the year, folks. Mother of the year.
Like, she's so neglectful. That's the scene that made me laugh. But they beat the Putty Patrol, and then we cut to Rita, who I guess two putties teleported back to her, but she was like, "Oh, you're failures. You're weak," and then she disintegrates them. Like, bam, you're dead. And then she summons Doom, General Doom, who is just a shredder with horns.
Kinda, yeah.
That's all he is. And he's mad because she. And the only reason she summoned him was to deal with these baby rangers, as she calls them. Like, "Oh, you want me to babysit? I've got some stuff to do." But she needs the power coins, and the putties are failing. So she kind of like takes some of his blood, or something, and then infuses it with her staff to make stronger putties. And she's like, "Okay, these putties will bring the kids to you. So all you need to do is take the power coins from them once they do." So that's the plan. And then we cut to Kimberly in gymnastics class, performing extremely well, impressing her teacher even. And Trini's just like, "Well, maybe you're performing a bit too well. It might get a bit suspicious." And because like even without these powers, I'm always going to be like a cheerleader or a gymnast, and that's not
Gymnast.
and that's not going to change.
Just like Kimberly.
Yeah. And so they're talking about like this training thing that Jason wants them to do, and one of them is like, "Do we have to go there?" At the response of, "Well, Zach will be there." And then it's like, "What were you waiting for?" And they run out.
Yeah, so Kim's got a little crush on Zach.
Yeah. And then we get to an amazing callback to the show with Zach performing some hip hop keto in the park.
Yeah, this kid's got moves.
He has.
You see earlier when they were fighting the putties, he tried to like do a hip hop keto thing, but it was like completely unimpressive. And I was like, don't try to do it, buddy. It's okay. But then here he's actually got the moves.
Yeah, if only he could actually apply that to the fights, that would have been cool. But Bulk and Skull were there, and Bulk's hand is in a cast from when he punched Zack. He broke his hand.
He actually did break his hand on the rock hard abs. He tried to warn him. Zack tried to warn you, Bulk.
He did. And they know not to mess with Zack anymore, so they tried to pick on the new kid, who is wearing green.
And then he starts shadow boxing.
Yeah, he does. Like, he starts shadow boxing, and he's that one anime kid who will, like, do these weird arm movements and shit. Just
well, no, he's not, because he's doing actual good karate.
yeah, but
that's the difference between him and the anime kids.
Yeah, but either way, it's like a scare tactic. You know,
and
like
it worked.
Freak out, so they're scared of you. And they're like, oh, actually, we're looking for a different dork. And they run off. So Zack compliments him. And they get to talking. And I can't remember. I don't actually remember what they talk about. But it's something.
The Rangers?
Zack and Tommy.
I think they just I think it's kind of just a generic like nice moves. Oh, I am used to being bullied because I'm the new kid.
Oh yeah, well,
I'm Tommy. I'm Zack.
Yeah.
And then he gets beeped. The Zack gets beeped, and he's like, "See you around."
Yeah, he gets beeped by Kim. And he's like, "Well, stop, stop playing on the comms because she's using it to play around."
Well, she actually was not using it to play around. She was using it to call him about training. But then he refers to himself as Black Zack Attack, and Kim and Trini start making fun of him. He's like, Kim, you're supposed to use this line seriously. And she's like, well, I was calling to remind you about training. So I guess see you there, Black Zack Attack.
Fair. Also, love how these communicators are actually accurate, even down to having the different colored lines across, like, the bracelet part.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
I want one of those. So, all the Rangers are on the comms talking about training, and when they hang up, Zack is on his way, but a putty teleports in front of him. Zack tries to right hook him, but in doing so, he swivels his entire body around, which turns his back onto the putty, allowing it to grab him from behind and teleport with him.
Did we mention that she made like super powerful putties for Doom?
Yeah, like she
because
took his blood and made powerful putties. And then it's Jason and Billy. And two putties appear. And those two don't even fight back. They just squirm in the grip and get teleported. And then we cut to Doom, who's angry. Like, he's sulking about having to babysit when he's got much better plans for the day. And in come the putties with all the Rangers. Unless I missed it, I don't think we actually see Trini and Kim get captured. Might have to go back.
No, we do. That was one of my favorite parts, where Trini and Kim are just kind of hanging out somewhere. I don't quite remember the circumstances, but the putties appear behind both of them, and they both point at the same time, and they're like, "Behind you!" and they get grabbed.
Oh yeah, this was when they would they just hung up the comms after teasing Zack.
Yeah, they were the first to get captured, I believe. Yeah,
I just skipped over that. My mistake. So they get grabbed, and everyone's grabbed, and the Rangers are kind of thrown down in front of Doom, and
then they do the bit. They do the everybody remember the trailer for Teen Titans Go, the movie, where they do that thing with Slade and they call him Deadpool and they argue with him about whether or not he's Deadpool. It's that. They call him Shredder and they have a back and forth about whether he's Shredder.
Yeah, they do that after they try to communicate with Zordon because they know him now, but the communicators don't work here. And then there's the whole Doom thing with Shredder. The Rangers start fighting the Puddies, but they can't actually beat them because the Puddies are super now. And
they're strong boys.
I'm not sure if this is a reference to the actual show itself, but
oh, it is. This is a reference to Day of the Dumpster. The way they get taken down one by one.
Yeah, taken down one by one in a desert, and Jason just like, oh, I think now would be a good time to try these morphers again. And they're like, no, we already tried. It doesn't work. Just no, trust me on this. We have to be a team. Just let's at least give it a try. I believe in us. And they all start to believe in themselves, and they morph with not the worst morph animation. Like it's literally just a picture of the morpher with the electric behind them, and then just a video of each kid doing the morpher in front, shouting their dinosaur name. But the funniest thing to me is instead of replacing Jason's head with the helmet they made, and they just grab the picture of the Red Ranger from the show, and then they all do the iconic flip one by one into their poses, and we get our first look at the suits with the oversized heads.
Which I guess I was too harsh because I saw them at like 360p, and I didn't realize that I was being fooled. They looked really bad on the shitty IMDb picture, but actually seeing them in HD and in motion, they don't look that bad. They're pretty okay.
Yeah. They're okay. And the only thing that's goofy at first is the big goofy heads. But like that's only at the start because they haven't gone into them yet.
Yeah.
But Jason flips over and he jumps really high and he punches Shredder in the face. I'm just gonna call Doom Shredder now just because.
Fair enough.
Kim's doing cartwheels because of course she is. And in one of my favorite moves of the entire series, she jumps up into a front flip, like has her legs around the Puddy's neck, and the Puddy is like supporting her back up with its arms, and she donks him in the face with her fist, and then kind of flips back, and the Puddy falls over, and then there's a Billy and Trini team up. Zach is fighting and having the Puddies attack each other. Jason's soloing Shredder and a Puddy. More fights. Just a bunch of different fight scenes going on at once. Puddies all blow up. Shredder's all like cornered and concerned. And they have a back and forth about evil never winning. It's like, oh, I am Doom. And he attacks, he pounds the ground, and he just kicks all of them down. But they back him up into a corner again. Well, there's no actual corners because it's just a fucking desert. And he tries to call Rita for help, but it doesn't work out so well. So all she does is cast a spell for something. I'm not sure what she even is doing here. Because she casts a spell and then it cuts back to him, and then it cuts back to her, but she's doing something quite creepy. Just watching a kid play in the park. Because that kid is Tommy.
Well,
And yet, Tommy just looks at her with a tilted head, like very confused.
Who is this grown woman watching me in the park?
Oh, okay, now Rita's spell hits Doom because he's got his fist in the ground and he starts to grow in the weirdest growing animation ever. It's just really slow.
It's pretty weird.
And they were just like, he's growing. We're screwed. What do we do?
And then 6-month time skip.
That's actually a 1 month time skip.
Wait, what did I? There is a 6-month time skip at some point. I guess that wasn't it.
At some point there is, but
1 month time skip.
it's not now. We just see the Green Ranger fighting all the other Rangers, but actually no, he's not. He's fighting putties who've had spells on them to look like the Rangers. And he's like, "Oh, Empress."
And then good.
I
I can tell you're using the video.
I am using the video. Yeah, he's just.
You fucker.
It's the easiest way because
You cheater.
I'm not gonna remember everything. Yeah, go ahead.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say because I had to call you out for your sins.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the freaking putty clones. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I was about to cut to the other Rangers, but I think something else happens first that you were about to say.
Yeah, because Rita and Tommy are just having a conversation about, oh, you have to destroy the evil Zordon and like take the power coins back because she's tricking him into thinking like there's no real evil spell right now, like controlling his mind. It's more she's making him believe that Zordon is evil, and the Rangers are.
Yeah, they're doing the Blake and Hunter bit.
Yeah, the Blake and Hunter thing. But
they're the evil Power Rangers. They do evil stuff. Or King for a Day.
King for a Day, yeah. Like
yeah.
Less like that though, because in that one, Tommy lost his memory, didn't he? And then
he lost his memory, and then Prince Gasket told him the Power Rangers are evil and that he's good and he has to stop the evil Power Rangers.
Yeah, and Tommy didn't lose his memory here. He just doesn't know about the Rangers at all.
Yeah, he didn't have the memory to begin with.
Yeah. As you were going to say, we cut back to the fight, and suddenly they have a Megazord.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey guys, remember when we beat Doom with the Megazord?" And I'm like, "No, you cut away."
Well, it shows one little clip of the Megazord fight before that, and then we just see the Megazord fight as they're telling the story.
Yeah, we see the Megazord fight, and then they cut back to Jason. It's like, yeah, that's how we beat Doom. And Kim's like, tell it again. Zach's like, you were there. And she's like, I know, but it's so cool when he talks about it. And then Jason starts at the beginning, and we see the sword sequence and stuff.
And during this retelling, we also see our first glimpse of Alpha and Zordon.
Oh my god!
And Alpha.
This makes it look like it's this doesn't look like what something in like a kid's YouTube show looks like. This looks like it's for like an adult meme. Like this like really strange looking rendition of the command center with like the 3D model of Alpha from the movie, and then just some dude with a gray filter over him.
I'm pretty sure that Alpha is an action figure.
It might be an action figure.
They used the toy, and then they just used like that grey face of Zordon, of just some random bald guy whose lips I don't even think even match what he's saying.
Like this looks like it's gonna have some sort of caption about how Zordon did too much drugs. Alpha, I have done too much ketamine and I am going to die. Ay.
Oh my god. Too much ketamine. The title for this podcast.
Too much ketamine, yeah.
And the funniest thing here is that sometimes it's new audio that they recorded using the Zordon actor, but sometimes they just take the clip, the audio clip of the real Zordon from the show, saying "Good luck, Power Rangers," and they
I didn't even notice that. I was wondering why like his volume changed all of a sudden.
it's because that's an actual audio clip from the show.
That's funny.
Like that's real Zordon talking. Yeah, Zords are called Megazord forms, fight, and Jason is like retelling it. Even Billy's getting excited because he's jumping on the table and flossing.
Yeah, they're pitching new victory dances, and Billy's is the floss. He hits it pretty good. That's a flawless floss, if I do say so myself.
It is. And Jason's mum gives the Rangers some ice cream, I think.
Yes, they enjoy some delicious ice cream for their victory. They're also like they're even less subtle about their identities than the actual Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are, and that's saying something. They're just like screaming about the Megazord with the mother in the other room making them ice cream.
Yeah, she probably just thinks it's just them like making up stories about make believe fights in like playground adventures they're having, kid stuff. But
Yeah, that's fair. That does work as an automatic cover. This mother is really unattentive because like those putties are too tall to have been your kids' friends.
like
Like the very beginning of that shot, because like that's the way they play it off, is like she thinks that the putties are just their friends and they're playing a game, but the putties are like adult
they're very much adult
sized
sized.
though.
And one of them was like fairly big too. I noticed one that had like a bigger build. But like, there's no way you think that one is a kid.
They're just kids playing around.
And the only one who isn't enjoying ice cream at the moment is Zach, because he just grabbed a Darth Vader helmet and a lightsaber, and he's playing with those. And
And then he references the movie. He says the exact quote because Kim's like, my dad's gonna be upset if he catches you playing with his stuff. And then Zach says the line. He says, "No, I am your
yeah, he
father,"
does.
which is the real line, as you've heard in every trivia thing ever, where it's like he didn't actually say, "Luke, I am your father." He said, "No, I am your father."
I am your father. No, it can't be. But Jason is like, oh wait, it's Halloween, and I completely forgot I've got a karate tournament soon, because that is also something carried on from the show. Is that Jason likes karate, and he goes to tournaments.
He wasn't very good at it before he got Power Rangerized, which is another thing. But the same time I said Kim, that's not a cartwheel, I said Jason, that's not karate, because he was like, check it out, I learned new karate moves when he first comes in, and he's just like, he puts his hand into karate chop stance and starts going like, yeah, 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 yeah. And it's like, that's not anything, Jason, what you're doing.
But now he's good enough to be in tournaments because of his powers.
Which they never. Trini scolds Kim about trying to gymnast with her powers, but nobody ever calls Jason on karateing with his powers.
Yeah, that is a bit weird, isn't it? Like, come on, guys. What's the word? If you're gonna do it to one, do it to the other. There's a word for that, but it's
Gotta be
blanking on me.
fair.
Yeah, it's gonna be. So
He's trying.
anyway,
He's given up.
they're all at the tournament, and Bulk and Skull are there
Yep.
as well. And this is where one of them got recast, I think.
I believe this is the first instance of Skull getting recast because I only noticed the next time he gets recast, but apparently he got recast twice, and I believe this is the first time it happens.
Yeah. They're at the tournament. Bulk's got the karate outfit on. Skull's just there as like a yes man, as he always is. Then some karate fights happen, and the announcer just like, oh, okay, the final fight is Jason Scott versus Tommy Oliver, which is the only instance that we get any last names. So they get into a fight. Tommy scores a point. Jason scores a point. Jason gets another point, and I'm pretty sure Tommy then gets 2 more points. Oh no, he gets another 1 point. Someone gets 2 points in one go.
Yeah, but however many points they get, they tie at the end.
Yeah, because it was a 4-4 match. Both of them got 2 points at once. And Zach invites Tommy to join their little Halloween get together. And Tommy's like, yeah, cool, that's awesome. And he walks off to leave them, but he's visibly angry at them when he walks off. Like, he scowls as he leaves. And then we're outside on Halloween in clear daytime as everyone's getting ready to trick or treat. Like, it's very clearly daytime out there. And we see Kim as Supergirl, Trini as Batgirl, and Zach just rocks up in his Ranger suit. Like, he's morphed. And he wants to...
Completely valid.
Oh no, first, it's actually Billy that shows up first in a pirate outfit. And the others are like, what are you meant to be? It's like, a pirate. Then Zach shows up, morphed. They're like, hey, this is going to be my costume. They're like, you can't be a ranger for Halloween. And then
and then the pink samurai ranger walks by.
Yeah, someone in the pink samurai ranger costume just walks on by, and he's like, what about her?
I'm totally on Zach's side here. I think this was completely fucked.
Yeah, like, what? Like, you have an easy costume. Like, all you have to do is say it's morphing time, Mastodon. You haven't got to worry about changing. But even Billy is just like, you shouldn't use your powers for something like this. And
he's saying like you shouldn't just be like out on the street trick or treating with children in like a super technologically advanced power suit.
Yeah, like,
it's like whatever.
And for some reason, Trini just happens to have a pirate costume.
Because she knew he would do it. She knows Zach. They're all friends. She had a feeling that he was gonna show up in his ranger suit with this exact logic. So she's like, I packed you a costume just in case you were as stupid as I thought you were gonna be. Go ahead and get dressed.
Yep, and he jumps out of frame, and then like a few seconds later, he jumps back into frame wearing the costume. And then that upsets Billy because he's like, but I'm the pirate.
I liked this. I liked this idea of Zach has a pirate costume now, and he's like, what the hell? I was supposed to be the pirate. And then Jason shows up, and he's also a pirate.
And then Tommy shows up, not as a pirate, and he's like, well, I guess I missed the memo about going as pirates, didn't I?
Yeah.
And everyone just laughs at him.
By the way, Tommy is easily the best actor here out of these 6 kids.
Oh, definitely.
Like, it's not even close.
Yeah. Like, none of them are unnecessarily bad, but Tommy is like the best one.
Yeah, they're not. Well, they are bad, but they're not like. Here's what I'm going to say. This is not a big compliment relatively to how we feel about these people, but it's a big compliment considering these people are professional actors who were hired by Nickelodeon, and these children are not. They're better than the Samurai cast.
Yep. There are several, like 2, casts of Rangers that these kids are better than Samurai and most of Megaforce.
Yeah, for sure.
But the Rangers go trick or treating, and they open a particular door, and it's a woman in green. And when we see her from the front, it's Rita.
Whoa, it's Rita.
And she had every opportunity to poison these guys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, did she poison the Halloween candy? But then that never comes up, so obviously she didn't.
No, she never poisoned them. And the Rangers are all talking like bad about her, saying, "Oh, she was a bit weird." And Tommy's like,
no,
"She's really nice.
She's great."
Like, what do you know her? No, but I just think we should respect our elders. Yeah, nice cover there, Tommy.
No, Empress Rita, I mean, that woman is great.
And then here comes the most fucked scene I've in the whole show. I was not expecting this. Because
Okay.
Rita just walks back into the house, gloating about,
And she's murdered a family. She's killed a family except for the youngest girl. And she's crying. And Rita's like, stop crying or you'll be next. And the scene ends on her like horrifically screaming.
Exactly. I was like, what the hell?
It's fucked up.
Like, even if it wasn't like murder, like it might have just been knocking them out or something.
Why did she leave the kid awake and put her in her unconscious mom's lap? Or dead mom, depending on which one is correct.
I don't know. It's fucked up.
This little girl looks like she actually thinks this is happening, too. She's very upset.
It is. Either that's a really good child actor, or they actually made the child think that she was in danger, which is so bad. And the Rangers are back home, and they've got these little cookies in the shape of Halloween stuff, and Rita's in the street, like doing stuff, like, doing her evil routine, and she like kind of corrupts the trick-or-treaters, turning their heads green, making them evil or something. And she like telepathically tells Tommy that she needs him, so he very quickly excuses himself.
Got a blast.
Got a blast.
Leaves his candy.
And while this is happening, we see Bulk and Skull again, and they're trick-or-treating. And Bulk picks up a skull from like a decoration, and he's like, "Hey, I got you this. It's the skull because you're Skull." And then Skull starts laughing because that was a fairly good joke on Bulk's end. But then they get zapped, mind control, and the Rangers hear a commotion, so they run out, and they're running from the trick-or-treaters who are going insane. And then they're in a grassy field, and they're like, "Okay, well, I'll get these guys. Oh, I'll take these guys. I'll take these guys," because they will choose opponents to fight. So Kim just beats the crap out of a T-Rex. Trini fights Batman, because she's Batgirl.
Girl power. Hell yeah. Smashing the patriarchy.
And Billy just roundhouse kicks Captain America. Jason like kicks a chicken head, and then the guy riding it, or a sumo wrestler. I don't know what it is. It's an inflatable.
Something like that. It's something.
I mean, he beats those guys, and then there's a Darth Vader kid who just ignites his lightsaber and gives a side eye to Zack. Who's like, "Oh boy," and he just kicks him down. And then Trick or Treat is like are freed, and then they just run.
The Rangers are like, how do we explain this? And Jason's like, we don't. Run.
Yeah. So they go back to the park, I guess the I don't know.
The park.
I don't know how to differentiate the two meanings of parks, because you get the grass parks and you get the parks with all the playground equipment, and the latter is where they are now. And
Yeah, they're at the playground. They're at
playground,
the
yeah.
play area. Yeah.
And the Green Ranger shows up, and they just think it's someone in a costume, but it's not.
Sick Ranger costume. Isn't it Trini again? Whenever Trini thinks somebody has a cool costume and goes to
Yeah.
compliment them on it,
It is.
does not work out.
I think it's actually Zach this time, because Tommy.
Oh, and I feel like we forgot to mention that we mentioned it before it happened, but they established that Trini has a crush on Tommy
Oh yeah.
because she says that he's cute at the tournament.
Oh yeah.
That's important. It becomes plot relevant later.
Plot relevant. Yeah. So Zach approaches Green Ranger, and he just gets his ass beat, and the others pick him up. They're like, okay, this clearly isn't some guy in a costume. So they start fighting. They don't morph yet. They just fight him. I get their asses beat, and they're like, okay, this isn't working out. It's clearly morphin time.
It's clearly morphin time.
And then my favorite thing about this morphing sequence is the fact that they film like a different one each time to show that they're in different outfits, because they're morphing with their Halloween costumes on in this one. And then the Green Ranger versus other Rangers fight scene happens after a short conversation of like, wait, you're the evil Rangers, I have to beat you to stop the evil Zordon. Like, wait, but we're not evil though. Rita's evil. You're like, liar.
Lies.
And then they just start fighting. I think Tommy is about to win, or he's about to do some cool shit, but he gets teleported away by Rita. Yeah, and she's. I paused at the perfect time. I've got to show you this.
Oh, wasn't it? It was like, so Tommy gets like Jason in a hold, and he's about to finish him off, but he doesn't, and the other Rangers knock him off, and that's when he leaves.
Oh yeah, like he has him in the hold, and the other Rangers knock him off, and he's about ready to get back in there, but he doesn't leave. He gets teleported by Rita. She brings him back, and she's asked, and she calls him a failure. Says he hesitated.
And Tommy's like, what if we just tell them that they're being tricked? And Rita's like, no, can't do that. You got to kill him.
Like, that doesn't work. You have to make sure that you defeat them. And then she bestows upon Tommy the Dragon Dagger.
Whoa.
Which they actually used the real Dragon Dagger toy or prop for this, which was awesome. Like, I'm so upset that the Green Ranger arc for this show is over, because even the child version of Green looked amazing, and that's my favorite Mighty Morphin suit. How cool would it have been to see it in the adult version? I'm so pissed. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm a White Ranger guy, so I'm happy.
But Tommy picks up the dagger, and he looks up, and he now looks very angry, and his eyes are glowing green under the spell. And Rita just
she gives him the Dragon Dagger, and then she also says that within the Dragon Dagger is the Sword of Darkness, which we never see Tommy use. We see somebody else use it later, but we never see Tommy use it.
Oh yeah, because we forgot to mention that this is where Rita info dumps She says that she's from another planet, and its Zeo crystal was stolen. So she was the Green Ranger, and the Red Ranger
She was the Green
of her team
Ranger.
was Zordon.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
And I think, if I remember correctly, she was told by Lord Zed that if she could grab another Zeo crystal from another planet like Earth, she could bring her planet back. And so she betrayed her team, and Jason, well, in order to do so, and to work with him, Zed said that Rita had to marry him, so they were engaged. And somewhere down the line, Jason literally just threw Zed into a volcano. So,
Or Zordon
oh,
did, not Jason.
Zordon did. What? Because I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm Red Ranger threw Zed into a volcano. Zordon threw him into a volcano, and that pissed Rita off, so she betrayed the team. But she's just saying that Zordon is a murderer, and he killed her fiance. And Zed put the Sword of Darkness power into her staff. So she did that with the dagger, because apparently she can just take a small bit of that Sword of Darkness energy from the staff and share it into the dagger, which is what she did. So now Tommy has Sword of Darkness power. Now it's 6 months later, and it's at the beach. Jason and Kim are training, and Kim just wants to relax, but Jason's not having it. And he says, if you can knock me down once, then we'll just chill out. And she does.
What are they? This is like pretty intense roughhousing, and their parents are just there watching. I feel like Jason should not be allowed to do this to his little sister Kimberly.
Yeah, I mean, these parents are just bad.
These are bad
These are
parents.
very bad parents. But yeah, Jason just gets whooped by his sister, and they now have to relax, and so they go surfing. Well, not surfing. They got the surfboard thing,
Boogie boarding.
boarding. Yeah, that's what it's called. Or where they get those boards and they lie on their stomachs and they surf the waves.
I used to have a boogie board.
I never did. But then Tommy is fighting a bunch of putties, like training. And then he fights one particular putty who is very different for some reason, because he has red. And this putty just won't fight Tommy. He refuses to fight back. He dodges and he blocks, but he doesn't fight. So Rita's just about to disintegrate him because she's like, well, you're worthless. But Tommy stops her because he likes this one and thinks that maybe it could be used to train the other putties. So this red putty survives, but he gets shooed away. And then we're back on the beach, and Jason's parents are just watching them. They're watching their kids, and they're kind of in shock about how they can both just do backflips now. But they're impressed. And then we're back to Rita and Tommy. I think this is actually where she talks about her home planet and the story about the sword.
Yeah, you might be right.
This is definitely where she info dumps. So there's the whole conversation about the dagger and the sword. And we even see Tommy holding the dagger with this green lightning effect on it. So then she sends Tommy away on a mission. We're back in the playground with Billy Zach and Trini doing Tai Chi, I think.
Yeah, Trini's teaching them Tai Chi, and one of them's like, "This is stupid," and she's like, "Hey, rude."
Yeah, Zach's just laughing about it.
And then she uses it to murder Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, those two are just driving
They're
around in
dead now.
go-karts. And they almost run over the three. Like, they try to hit them with their go-karts. And they make fun of their Tai Chi, which Trini just uses to whoop their asses. And then they get back on their carts and drive away. And then Putty show up. And they fight them. They beat them. But one Putty shows up in front of Bulk and Skull. And they mock the Putty. And they kind of like mess around with it before the Putty just throws them down. And then more Putties show up in the playground, including the red one. And I think the red Putty like even helps Billy.
Yeah, he helps them and he's like, "Oh, thanks, red guy."
Yeah, he knocks a Putty down. And they high five and he's like, "Yeah, thanks, dude." And we just never see him again until way later. So the others call for Jason and Kim because they're outnumbered and they keep coming. And there's a scene where even Zordon is trying to call them. But and they distract their parents and then teleport to the others. They're like, what took you so long? Wait.
And I think the joke. I think Kim told her parents that Jason has the runs. Like they imply like she said something like inappropriate because he's like, what did you tell them? And she's like, "You don't want to know."
And he gets like really like mad at her.
And he's like, "What?"
And we never find out what she said. But they teleport over and morph and they fight. Bulk and Skull try to watch the fight, but a Putty shows up near them and they just are like, "Nah, we're out of here." And then there's more fighting going on. Putties are down, but the Green Ranger is here. So they fight him. And Tommy just absolutely...
And
Go on.
oh, you first, because this is before what I'm about to say.
Well, Billy and Zach try to attack Tommy, but he wipes them down with one hit each. With the dagger. And the same goes for Trini and Kim. All four of them's down. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so he daggers the shit out of them. And it was after the fight scene. I was just kind of gonna gloss over it, but yeah, he uses the dagger. He kicks the shit out of all of them. And then who tries to convince who of what? I forget exactly how that goes.
Tommy's trying to convince Jason to join him because Zordon's evil. And
Yeah, well, he's trying to convince all the Rangers to join them, and they're like, "What do you?" And then he uses Jason's name. He's like, "Did you just say my name?" And he's like, "Yes, I know who you are. I consider you a friend. I know who all of you are, and I consider you friends." And they're like, "We don't know who you are." And then Jason says, "I know who he is. I figured it out on Halloween." You didn't think to tell your friends who the evil Green Ranger was for 6 months?
you're like, how? What? Why?
You just didn't mention it. You knew, and you didn't think to say anything.
Like, this is a massive story plot. Like,
Yeah, Jason just didn't mention it, and it's like, "Yep, I'm Tommy. Here I am."
yeah, Tommy just grabs his helmet, takes it off. He's like, "Yeah, join me. We can stop the evil Zordon." And Jason does go to shake his hand, but before they do, they get teleported.
Because he spins a narrative where Rita's fake narrative is kind of well thought out.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this does fill in a couple blanks that Zordon kind of left. And they ask Billy, and he's like, yeah, this is plausible. What he's saying. And Jason almost joins them, but then they both disappear mysteriously. Ooh.
Yeah, they get teleported, and they're in the past now, as is evident by the mammoths stampeding past them. And
Mammoths weren't a thing 10,000 years ago, right? That was way, way before 10,000 years ago.
how long ago did mammoths exist? 6.2 million years ago.
Yeah, so a little off. A little off.
Only a little. There's a stampede. And Zordon's telling Alpha what's going on, which is that he sent the two back in time so that they can see for themselves what actually happened between Zordon and Rita. He wants them to see the truth for themselves. Like, it's not a case of my word over hers. It's you've seen it. You know for a fact. But the communications aren't working because sending them that far back in time drained all of the power, including communication systems. But apparently not the morphing system, because the Rangers don't have their powers drained away. And as that happens, we get okay. There's just so many funny Rita screenshots because
Rita is very a very exaggerated act. Palkia moment.
the the sky turns all green and swirly, and she appears in the sky.
Yeah, and then Nightster has isolated a screen because nobody's gonna see this. Nightster has orchestrated a screenshot where I guess she appeared all warbly, and in this particular shot, this particular frame, her neck's all long.
That's her chin.
Oh, that's her chin, yeah. Well, her chin has expanded into part of a neck that is now very long.
And there has to be a way you can show the viewers what you mean.
There's not. I'll never remember. We've done this dance before, and I've said that I would put an Imgur link in the description, and that I didn't. So I don't want to promise it this time.
Fair enough. So it is asking what the Rangers did with her Green Ranger, and they're like, "What did you do with Jason?" And they go back and forth arguing about it. Like, what? Why would I do it?
Yeah, I was about to win. What do I stand to gain from doing that?
And as they're arguing, Jason and Tommy are like running around the mountains, trying to figure out what's going on. And they hear some footsteps. And this is the first and only time until season 3 that we see the adult suits, but these are different suits, because we see the Green Ranger being chased by the Red Ranger. And interestingly, the Green Ranger hasn't got a shield.
And Rita's the other thing about Rita's thick. You can't tell in her regular outfit, but when she's in spandex, goddamn.
Calm down.
I'm not that's not even a compliment, really. It's just I noticed how fucking pronounced everything was in the spandex.
I couldn't help but notice that, but I wasn't going to bring it up. Also, isn't that the helmet that they used for the Dino Thunder episode?
Yeah, with the silver on the helmet. Yeah, I think so.
It's either that or the Street Fighter with the gold. It's hard to tell, but it's based on one of those two. But Zordon is chasing Rita, And back in present time, the Kidz are still arguing with present day Rita. I'm not sure. Just talking about what could be going on, where the others could be. More chasing going on in the past until Rita's backed into a corner. Literally this time, because there's an actual mountain wall blocking her path. And then they take off their helmets and they talk about what's gone on in the past between them. Like retelling the whole Zordon killing Zed, but Rita's trying to destroy life on Earth for their Zeo crystal to bring back her planet, even though she knows that that's not going to work. And she just wants revenge. And she does. She kind of fakes Zordon out here because it almost seems like he's getting through to her because she starts crying and like curling in on herself. So he goes over, and then right at the last moment, she's like, "Unfortunate for you," and just starts beating the crap out of him. And as they start fighting, Tommy and Jason start fighting because they're on the like opposing sides. Like, I need to help Rita, but you can't because it's messing with time.
One thing about that scene that I feel like they kind of did a half measure in a weird way, because like Jason and Tommy are arguing about like who's evil, Rita or Zordon, and that's the catalyst of the scene. And when Zordon like hugs Rita and tries to get through to her, he's obviously reaching for the crystal, trying to like catch her in a moment of insecurity and take the crystal from her. So I'm surprised they didn't have Tommy point that out. Like, hey, look, he's tricking her. He's gonna take the crystal.
True. I never actually clocked that. I didn't notice he was doing that. But the communication systems are back online, and Zordon tells the Rangers what's going on. Like he's the one that teleported them. Well, I teleported Tommy and Jason, and told them where. And he also says, "I can't bring them back," or something like that, which really annoys. Well, it really angers Kim because he's like, "You sent my brother into like 10,000 years into the past, and you can't bring him back."
And he sent him there with his arch nemesis.
Yeah. And back in the past, Jason's just like, wait, maybe, we keep asking ourselves who sent us back here, but maybe we should be asking why. Why here?
Why send
Why
us back
now?
here?
And Tommy's like, seems like he's about to get back into the fight, but he like throws his fist down in anger and is like, "You're right. I was kind of wondering that myself." And then they just go back to watching, and then they see that Rita's actually the evil one, and she killed the other Rangers. It just drops their power coins on the floor, and that just upsets Zordon. And she summons the Sword of Darkness, and also summons some putties with. I never noticed this until now, but they have tin foil over their shoes. Like they literally just have tin foil to make it grey, and they didn't even paint it to be a matching color. But Jason starts fighting them, and Rita's watching. He beats them. What does Rita do? She's getting all excited, and she's like powering the sword up, and like she zaps him in the chest. And oh yeah, Zordon calls for the power sword. The only time we ever see any of the power weapons.
That's true.
The power sword is in his hand now, and he uses it on the power coins to like scatter them.
Turn them into a laser and scatter them.
Yeah, he turns them into a laser, and we see a shot of the Zords. And what it does is it bubbles Rita and like kind of teleports her away in a green ball, and the crystal is left behind, and he just falls to the ground. So Jason and Tommy go over to help him. They explain everything, which, yeah, they say they don't want to mess with time, but they literally tell Zordon that he becomes a head.
Yeah, they kind of fuck up on the not messing with time thing.
Yeah, they interact with him and tell him about his future. So,
which creates this weird paradox, because like it seems like this had to happen, because it seems like Zordon gets the idea from Jason, because it seems like he initially intends to continue on himself and defend the Earth himself, but then Jason says giant head, and he kind of like has this look of realizing, and that's when he suddenly changes course and starts doing the thing that turns him into a floating head.
maybe it's Jason's fault that he's a floating head, or Tommy's fault, depending on whoever said it. Because once you know what's coming, it's written in stone. You can't change history. So because Zordon knew that's what happens, that's what always has to happen. So good going, guys.
This strange infinite loop.
Yeah, Zordon like uses the sword to open a portal to present day. Oh no, he doesn't. He uses it to turn a putty into a red putty. And this is the same putty that helps that helped Billy earlier. Because he was told to like hold on to the power coins and make sure they fall into the hands of future Rangers. And after that, Zordon just kind of waves a hand and they're back in their own time. Because we cut to Rita with the Rangers, because she's now actually there with them. She joined them in person.
Yeah, because once Kim kind of gets gets kind of disenfranchised about Zordon, she says like, Rita, we need to talk, and then Rita appears.
Yeah. So she's actually here now.
Yeah.
And Jason and Tommy show up. And they're all mad. They're like, oh, you lied. And we can actually see a small hint of what's going to happen, because on the foreheads of every ranger there is a little green flash. And
oh yeah.
And Rita and Tommy argue about what actually happened. And eventually Rita's just like, evil rangers attack. And yeah, the 4 rangers, mind controlled by Rita, attack Jason and Tommy.
And they hit Tommy so hard he has a growth spurt.
Apparently so, yeah.
Because I think this is where this episode ends and the next episode begins, and Tommy is very clearly progressed in his puberty.
Yep.
Not Jason was like the last one to start visibly changing. Like by the last episode, he's a foot taller than Rita, but he stays pretty small throughout most of it.
True. And it opens on Rita watching the fight in like this tunnel, this little green video. And then she kind of summons this dark lord or something. I can't remember exactly what she says.
And she says Demon Lord, and the Demon Lord is Goldar.
Yeah, we just see this golden, blue and black figure walking through, and you immediately know it's Goldar from his shape.
Which was a surprise, because I've never heard Goldar identified as a Demon Lord, and when she said that, my immediate thought was Lokar? But it was not Lokar, it was Goldar.
Okay, I don't know why, and you're probably going to question my sanity when you hear this, but you know that weird lava monster from the Turbo movie that Divatox was going to marry?
Malagor?
I thought that's who it was going to be.
That's
I
interesting.
heard Demon Lord, and my mind just pictured Malagor. Yeah, this was something that I was surprised to see, and I thought that you might enjoy it because it's Goldar. I know you're very much a Goldar fan.
I am a Goldar fan. This is a very different interpretation of Goldar. Kind of like pretty intense. Like it's gonna be Lord Zed has competition because Goldar is pretty damn intense in this show.
Yeah, I mean, what he does is insane. Because like he hears Rita's plan. Like that's his first step, is to know exactly what her plan is. But we cut again to the Rangers fighting each other, and yeah, Tommy is significantly older, and his hair's even changed. In fact, both of their hair is
Yeah, he has a different haircut.
so is
Yeah.
Jason.
They knocked their hair off and made them age forcefully.
And Rita and Goldar are on the moon, presumably, the moon cave, talking about the plans. Like, oh, we can just use the Rangers to defeat the other two. I'm like, oh, but the Red Ranger would just summon the T-Rex Zord. Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, because the last time that they called the Megazord, I did a tracing thing. So now that when he does it again, I can trace the location back to the command center and find Zord. Is roughly her plan.
And Goldar's like, "Ew, yeah, yes, nice plan you have there.
Yeah.
Very
You
good."
thought of everything, nice. And they keep fighting, and Jason sees Tommy punch Kim in the stomach, and he's like, "Dude, that's my sister."
He's like, "Oh, sorry, my bad. Walk it off, kid."
Walk it off, Kim. And they apologize to all of them after knocking them down.
He does go pretty sicko mode on Kim. It's a little.
Yeah, I mean, if I
Because he like pins her to the ground and starts fucking punching her on the ground, and Jason's like, "Dude, that's my sister."
like, he grabs her leg in a lock, and then like pins her down, punches her in the stomach, and even after Jason is like, "Dude," he apologized and then just kicks her aside. Like, my guy. And they just keep talking, like, while fighting, and Tommy demorphs. Well, I'm on the moon. Goldar's like, well, your plan isn't going as you thought it would because your Rangers are losing. And she's like, oh, I can turn the tide because I gave the Green Ranger his power. I can take it away. And so Tommy does demorph, and the power coin just teleports to Rita somehow.
Yeah, she just take it, and this I was waiting for her to. I was waiting for it to be a. She just takes it.
Yeah, no candle here. It's just she just has it. And Jason's like, dude, this is no time to demorph. He's like, well, I didn't do it. This wasn't me. I guess Rita just took my powers. So Jason has to fight. Well, not on his own, because Tommy is still there fighting, but he's the only one morphed. And he does the first, like, he kind of makes the first step into, like, curing them, because he grabs Kim in a hug, and that kind of stops her for a second. But
yeah, she starts to hug him
yeah, she
back,
does.
but then it like snaps back in.
Yeah, the spell snaps back in, and she like, well, I think it only snapped back in because it was interrupted by Zach and Trini grabbing Jason's arm and pulling him away.
Yeah, exactly.
And then both of them just kicked him in the chest, and then they just throw him forwards into Tommy. And then
Tommy, who's like an impressive ass kid, because like he doesn't have his powers anymore, and he's kind of holding his own against Power Rangers, and will do so against like Putties and even Rita later.
Yeah, true. And Jason's just like, okay, so in order to save them, we have to like show kindness to them. And Tom was like, "What, you mean compliments? Hey Zach, nice moves. Hey, you dance really well." And then Zach just kicks him in the face. It's like, nope, that didn't work.
Didn't work.
And Jason's all, no, you gotta be sincere about it, dude. Like, try kissing them. It's like, ew, no.
I'm not gonna kiss Zach.
And then Rita, Goldar, and two putties all show up. And the Rangers give Rita the power coins. And right as she's about to like win everything, Goldar pushes her down and like takes her staff because I know he's got an evil plan now. He wants to be the evil ruler because she's not worthy. So she gets all mad at him for being a traitor, but like she's got the power coins and the evil rangers, so she's in control. So she tells the rangers and the putties to attack. The rangers who, by the way, are no longer rangers because she stole their power coins.
True.
And Goldar just raises Rita's staff and slams it down. And then the putties and rangers just kneel towards him instead. And then that kind of scares Rita, but she's still trying to intimidate him. But it doesn't really work. And she ends up like backing away. And Tommy and Jason grab her and teleport away. And they talk about having like a common enemy. And like they need to work together.
Well, Jason's saying that, and Tommy's like, "What? No."
Yeah, Tommy does not like that idea.
You crazy? Yeah.
Nor does Rita, to be honest. She's like, I would never work with you. In fact, Tommy even goes as far as to attack Rita, but she just grabs.
Yeah, they have a little. I mentioned that earlier. They have a little fight.
Only a little one though, because like he goes for a kick and then like a punch, but she ducks and then grabs his wrist, and then that's as far as the fight goes until like she starts gloating, and then he just punches her in the nose. She starts crying, and then she gets mad, and they start having a little back and forth again. Another small fight, which I think. Does Tommy win that fight? Or is it? Oh no, they go until Jason runs back towards them and breaks them apart. Because that's him then telling them that their best shot of all of them getting what they want is working together.
Yeah, it's another example of Tommy being really impressive because, like, even though Rita doesn't have her powers, I guess, but she is a thousands of years seasoned warrior and former Power Ranger, and Tommy holds his own.
You're like, one, she's an adult. Two, she's been a ranger far longer than he has, but he still like puts up a very good fight against her. Eventually, Rita agrees to the terms of the team up, if and only if, well, after realizing that she can't actually use the power coins, she's like, right, I'll help. But the Green Ranger coin stays with me.
Tommy's like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do then?
And Jason agrees with those. He's like, dude, what am I meant to do?
It's the only way, Tommy.
The only way. And they do some more arguing, and Rita's like, oh, what's your plan then? and it cuts to the like again, not expecting this. It cuts to a plane in the sky and then a fucking green missile. Just like Goldar's just blowing up everything.
Usually they go out of their way to like say that people don't die in Power Rangers. Like whenever buildings get blown up, they're like, "Oh no, not the abandoned warehouse district." But in this, they just blow up a plane and people explode and
Well, there's
die.
definitely people in that plane, otherwise it wouldn't be moving.
Hey, they're not like, "Oh no, that autopiloted cargo plane got blown up."
There are people. But the trio teleport back, and Jason's like, I have a plan, but Rita's not gonna like it. And it cuts to Goldar on the putties, and Rita shows up near him. And she's like, oh, this is so undignified. And just runs away and has the putties chase her. And then we see a cut to like Kim being approached by two bullies who are not Bulk and Skull. And they're just like, oh, does she not speak English? Hello, hola, bonjour. And they just keep trying to communicate, but she doesn't respond. And like, give us your lunch money. And she just beats them up. And as soon as they're on the ground, she just walks away. And Tommy and Jason try to hide, but somehow it works. But they pick the worst hiding spots ever. And then
Yeah, it's not very well hidden.
No. And then they catch her unaware by jumping in front of her and behind her. And Jason pulls her into a hug. Just goes on about how they're family. You know, just family affection and all that. And then Kim's eyes just glow yellow. And then she's back to normal. And then Jason's just like, oh, and there's no time to explain everything, but the plan is you have to kiss Zach right now. She's like, oh, I like this plan. This is a good plan.
I'm a fan of this plan.
So they run off, and Tommy joins them. And Zach is chasing a man with a dog. And Kim just jumps in front of him. And he's like, what are you doing here? Goldar gave us orders. And then she's like, well, actually, Goldar gave me orders to tell you a secret. He's like, what secret? Tell me. And he like leans down. And then, of course, she kisses him. And then he's back to normal. Somehow. And then Tommy and Jason find Billy and Trini, both just causing a ruckus. And they try to catch them unaware, but they see them or they hear them and they attack. And Tommy kisses Trini on the cheek. And for Billy, they decide group hug.
First of all, before the group hug, there's so somebody says, Tommy, you have to kiss Trini. And the way Tommy like looks her over for a minute, and it's like, yeah, I could do that. I'm okay with that. And then somebody else is like, Jason, you have to, and Jason's like, I'm not kissing Billy.
Yeah, this face, again, I'm sharing so many screenshots, but the way he looks at Trini here.
Yeah, Tommy's like, yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
So he does that. Like, Jason, you have to. I'm not kissing Billy. And then group hug. And then everyone's back. And a bunch of putties are chasing Rita. And when that happens, she runs past this little kid on a bike and he falls off. And bless him, he's so scared. Like, he's got his hands up to his face, like, oh no, who are these guys? As the putties circle him. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna regret this." And the Rangers kind of make it in time to see the putties and Rita with the kid, and they assume that she's attacking him. And Tommy's first thought is just, "See, I knew we couldn't trust her." But as the putty grabs the kid, Rita rushes in and starts beating the crap out of them. And then she kind of glares at the last one, like, "Put down the kid." And it does. And she's like, "Thank you." And then just beats the shit out of him.
Kills
Yeah.
him.
Put him down. "Thank you." Dead. And then she approaches the kid like, "No need to thank me." And this is the kid that has good self-awareness because he's like, "Stranger danger." And he kicks her in the ankle. And she grabs her leg and just runs off. Goldar's blowing up cars. And then the Rangers and Rita are all joining together. And they start making fun of Goldar because he's like, so we all called him a dog before, but I guess he's more like a chicken, huh? And they keep going back and forth with chicken stuff. Even the putties are doing chicken movements. And I swear at some point he says, I'm from like the planet like Buffalo or something, and these are my buffalo wings.
What?
I'm not exactly sure what the line is, but he makes a buffalo wings joke. Or like
Tommy mentions buffalo wings later in reference to Goldar. I don't remember anything else.
chicken. My wings are from the planet Buffalo. They are my beautiful buffalo
Wait,
wings.
really?
Yeah. That's what
Oh my
Goldar
god.
says. My wings are from the planet Buffalo. They're my beautiful buffalo wings, which is obviously a chicken thing. You can get buffalo wings. And then that just makes everyone start laughing even more. And Goldar just whacks everyone with the staff and his sword, knocking everyone down. Rangers morph, except for Tommy, obviously, because he can't. There's a putty fight. Tommy and Rita are fighting the putties, while the Rangers are fighting Goldar. And Tommy keeps trying to ask Rita to give him his coin back. She's like, "No." So he can't morph. And Goldar uses his staff to make himself. Is it himself or just the putties?
The putties.
Okay, so he makes the putties grow. So the Rangers obviously call their Megazord, and Rita's just like, "No, don't summon the Megazord." And Tommy's like, "Why not? They're giant putties."
Why? Oh, I know why. For a minute, I was like, they never really say why, but now I remember.
Yeah, because Goldar knows that Rita's staff, if the Zords are summoned, can trace Zordon.
But it's the fact she mentions the putties being unstable at that size, and that never comes back up. And she says, "Don't summon the Megazord." So in my brain, those two things are related, and somehow the instability of the putties was going to negatively affect the Megazord, and then nothing happened. And I was like, "But wait, then why was any of that?" But now I realize.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
And the cool thing here is we actually get a Megazord combination sequence.
True.
And they do actually go back to the whole man in costume right after, but they do show the Megazord transformation, which is quite cool. Which I know is what they do in all of them. And before anyone says, "Well, that's what they do in the real shows," I know, but it's more egregious here. Also, Goldar summons more putties to fight Tommy and Rita, and Tommy again asks for his coin, and instead Rita's just running down the path. She's gone. And Tommy.
I was waiting for him to ask that question the whole time too. Like I was surprised it took him that long. Like throughout this whole ordeal, I was waiting for Tommy to be like, "Man, you know what would make this easier? He gave me my power coin back."
Yeah, and he did, and she just chose not to give it. But these putties that were summoned weren't any normal putties. These were Z putties, and that's why Rita ran.
Yeah, the Z putties are very dangerous.
Even though I'm pretty sure they're weaker than normal putties because they have a glaring weakness. We just hit them in.
Yeah, it's weird. They're implied to be better in like a weird way, but it doesn't make any sense because their weakness is so glaring.
It's like one punch in the chest and they're gone. They're easier to beat. Maybe they're physically stronger, but you'll definitely have an easier time dealing with Z putties than normal putties. So the fights rage on, and Goldar has found the command center, and Tommy is fighting the Z putties on his own. And we get the wildest scene of Goldar jumping into the and punching Alpha into a wall, and this Alpha just dying because his head and limbs.
Yeah, Alpha does die.
Head and limbs
Yeah.
just split from his body, and he kind of shuts down Zordon. I think is that what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as Tommy is getting beaten, and the Megazord is getting dismantled because of Goldar and the command center. I think also I got rid of their ranger powers.
Yep.
They go down to help Tommy, and he's beaten up so bad that he just sounds drunk.
What's weird about this, right, is there's definitely an episode transition like in between these events. And he gets the shit kicked out of him by the Z Putties, and the Power Rangers go to save him. And he's like, "You saved me," and he passed out. When that happens, completely unaffected physically, like there were no visible signs of
On his
injury.
face.
And then in the next scene, he's got like a black eye and is bleeding from his face.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop there.
So we didn't see the scene when like one of the putties comes back, like just like slams his head into the swing set a couple times and then leaves again.
Guess not. But the Z Putties come back and they keep fighting, but they can't figure out how to beat them. Even though I would like to mention that Kim should have beaten one right here, because she's on the swings and she swings forward and kicks a Z Putty right in the chest, right in the Z.
I think the implication is you have to do it more than once, or you have to do it with a certain amount of force. Because like that happens, as far as I remember, that happens in season 2 a couple times as well. That like a putty is very obviously hit in the Z and does not die at that moment. I think it's implied that it's like there's a certain amount of force that you have to apply to that Z for it to trigger.
Yeah. And then another funny moment that got me nearly laughing was the putties celebrating their victory by doing this little dance as their Z's start doing these little disco lights.
They also got better putty costumes in between
Yeah,
episodes.
like are these costumes on?
Because the first time we see the Z putties, they're the same putties we've been seeing the whole time, but with the Z vest. And then we see them again, and they've got like an actual, more realized like putty face.
Oh yeah, they got the like clay masks on this time.
Yeah.
And the Rangers are getting beat until what happens? But freaking out of nowhere, Green Ranger shows up and kicks a putty down, and it's Rita, and she tells them to like hit the putties in the Z, and that's the only way. Like, that's their only weak spot. And then And Billy's like, well, we're not going to fall for that. We can't even trust you. And we just see her attack a bunch of putties and then punch one in the Z really hard, and it disappears. So Kim's like, well, you heard the woman, attack. And then they all start fighting again. And now that they know to hit the Z, they're being more successful in their fights. And once they're all down, Rhea takes off her helmet and the others pick Tommy up. She's like, oh, the baby Rangers I thought you were shorter.
Yeah, so this is where they've really aged.
Yeah.
Except for Kim. She doesn't change like at all.
She really doesn't.
But the other ones are very different.
Like, obviously, apart from the season 3 cast image, which is obvious because I was like years and years in between. The entire show, she just looks the exact same. Whereas all the others, we can see a gradual aging. So Bulk and Skull see what's going on, and they're like, oh my god, those dorks are talking to a Power Ranger. Which I thought was going to be them finding out that the 5 were, or the other 6 were also Rangers somehow. But it wasn't. It just doesn't become anything. And this also becomes one of the cringiest moments ever. Because as Bulk is recording all this for his YouTube channel, he tries to think of a name for his channel. And what does Skull suggest? It was a Ranger Station was Skull's suggestion. And Bulk's like, no, that's dumb. So what does Bulk go for instead? Mr. Bulk. And with the subtitles you see on the screen and it being a Mr. B thing, it's so obviously a Mr. Beast reference, and I just... No. That took me out of it.
Mr. Bulk.
Mr. Bulk.
Which I was hoping the bit was that he would be like this universe's equivalent of Mr. Beast, and he would eventually have like millions of subscribers. But then they mentioned Mr. Beast and PewDiePie by name, so Mr. Beast already exists in the universe, so they fucked that up.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll have more subscribers than those two combined. So Rita's like talking to the like, oh, you have to like go back and fight or something, except you. So points at Tommy because he's all weak, and Tommy's just like,
he's all beaten up,
and he's so beaten up that he's like, please go boom boom, or something. I can't remember what he says, but it was something in that weird state.
Something about boom boom.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I don't think we need the exact quote, Nightster.
Oh well. I don't even know what they're all talking about here, to be honest. I can't remember. And now I find the clip. Planet go boom boom. Because she was talking about the Zeo crystal. Like, oh, it won't bring my planet back, but I want revenge.
Wait, this is when that happens?
We're right near the end.
No, I know that, but I thought Rita says that before she teams up with them, she says that.
She does, but she's also like reaffirming that. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm also just now realizing how much taller Jason is than Rita.
Yeah.
Very odd choice, by the way, on the costumes, because at first I thought that the reason they went with having the costumes, the morphers sewn onto the costumes, was they didn't have the morphers. But clearly they do, because she grabs the morpher from the belt and takes it off. So why not just have that?
It's not the first time we see a morpher.
I know it's not, but
okay.
that scene just made me think, why not just have that strapped around you? Like, attach it to a belt. It'll look so much better. And that way, when you take off the morpher, and there isn't another morpher underneath it, I don't get it. But, yeah, she takes off the morpher, and Goldar shows back up. And I think they're about to start fighting, and we cut back to Bulk and Skull, and Bulk is literally glowing, and he teleports for some reason. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. This is where we hear Rita say, I guess he's being teleported with the Rangers because she's teleporting them elsewhere. She's saying that there's another team of Rangers, the Dino Fury Rangers. So you have to go to another planet.
So I'm definitely curious as to what the original plans for this were. Because it seems obvious to me that they intended to make another season a lot sooner than they ended up making another season. But now that Hasbro's involved, do you think it's going to be the actual Dino Fury Power Rangers?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Like, do you think now it might even be the Cosmic Fury Rangers?
Yeah.
That would really piss off Crow.
Yeah.
They do not like those suits.
No.
But I don't really like the suits either, but I love the characters and I want to see them again. So I do kind of hope that happens. But then if it does, the Cosmic Fury Rangers know Billy already. So it's going to be like another Billy? What? So how's that going to work?
I have a feeling if that's real, they just won't acknowledge it.
Maybe. I've got a feeling the Cosmic Fury Rangers or Dino Fury Rangers just won't be in there at all. And if they are, it's going to be like a different version of them.
Yeah, it'll probably be a different version of that. They have to be in there. That's part of the cliffhanger. They're in their they're in a box here. Jason, Trini, and Kimberly have been teleported to a strange planet where they've been sent to meet the Dino Fury Power Rangers. They have to be in there.
Yeah. Which is basically where this ends, because apart from Bulk being teleported there as well, and another few things happening, like Goldar taking away Rita's powers and turning her into like an orb, or trapping her inside an orb, like a crystal. And now
There's another.
Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry,
Go
my
on.
bad. I was interrupting you. My brain didn't process that you were saying important plot things. Please continue.
Actually, what I was saying was not important plot things.
Well, I mean, trapping Rita in the crystal is pretty important.
Yeah, but I finished saying that, and then I was
Okay.
moving on to saying something different.
Yeah. But we got another injured Tommy moment where before Trini joins Jason and Kim to be teleported away, she kisses Tommy on the cheek. And it takes Tommy like 5 whole seconds to process that just happened because he's so injured. And then his response when Trini's like already like feet away from him is he just starts like kissing the air.
Yeah, that was quite funny. But yeah, after Arita stuck in the crystal ball, suddenly she's in black clothes instead of green. Like, I guess she had a wardrobe change before she morphed earlier.
Yeah, she put on a new outfit.
So she's stuck in a crystal ball, which is a reference, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure to what, but I know there's a Power Rangers villain that was stuck in a crystal ball. Who was it? Power Rangers villain stuck in crystal ball. Definitely wasn't Rita. Huh. I cannot find it. The only one I can find is the freaking Wild Force crystals. That's weird. But yeah, so that happens. And the very final shot we see, which I'm so upset we didn't get to see any more of this guy, because he looked so good in this shot, was we get this dark corridor look of Lord Zed sitting on his throne with his staff next to him. And like, I think that those are putties. Like there's like shadowy figures that might be putties in front of him.
Yeah.
And that's where the show ends.
That's it. That's Ninja Kidz.
That's Ninja Kidz. Should we ask our usual questions?
I mean, I don't know what we're doing about the last one, but I guess the first two work. What was your favorite character?
I think mine was Rita.
It's a hard call between Rita and Tommy.
Yeah.
I think I gotta go with Tommy.
I'm going with Rita. Like, they had like the main story beats of the show, and they were both acted pretty good. Yeah, so favorite scene.
And what was your favorite scene, Nightster?
I guess again because of how much it made me laugh, just that one scene of Jason fighting those putties, and his mom was just like uncaring about it. What about yours?
I think I gotta give it to the Rita and Tommy fight. That was probably like the rawest thing.
That was pretty sick. But I guess, how would you rank?
I guess we could rate this out of 10.
Season 1 and 2 as
overall.
a whole out of 10.
I'd give it like a solid 7.5. It has its shortcomings, but you'd expect it to. I enjoyed it overall to a decent degree. Solid 7.5.
Yeah, I was leaning towards 7, but considering how young the cast were and how small their budget was, I'm actually going to give them a whole point on top of that because of their limitations. So they get an 8 for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes with not too much higher of a budget, but definitely a higher budget and an actual production, like television production staff being involved.
Yeah. And with the Rangers being the typical age that we would expect.
Yeah, being actual Power Ranger age now. Yeah.
I'm hoping, like, not to say that they weren't already good actors when they were kids, because they were pretty good, but I am hoping and kind of expecting that the acting will get better during season 3.
I hope they haven't gotten worse because they're out of practice.
I doubt that.
Fair enough.
Like, I think we're in for a solid, like, good season for acting. And I'm excited to see where the story goes with Lord Zed and how they're going to tackle the Dino Fury storyline.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. That was really out of left field.
Oh, that Dino Fury Rangers.
I don't know how they're going to handle it.
Like, obviously the existence of other teams was acknowledged before that because we saw the Pink Samurai Ranger costume. But hold on, that's actually a plot hole right there. Because they see the Pink Samurai Ranger costume, but they also say, after Rita tells them about the Dino Fury Rangers, they say, we think we'd have noticed if there was a whole other team of Rangers. What about the Samurai?
I think they mean active. To be fair,
yeah, that could be it. That could have been what they meant.
Yeah, the Samurai Rangers defeated the Nihilok a long time ago. They're long gone.
Yeah.
I think with Hasbro at the helm, they're going to want a big episode 1. Here's what I think is going to happen. It is going to be the real Dino Fury Rangers, but they're not going to explain any of how that works. They're going to be in one scene, and it's going to be Amelia giving Jason and Kimberly a pep talk. It might even just be Amelia. It's going to be Amelia giving Jason and Kim a pep talk, giving them some sort of MacGuffin that will help them, and then sending them off. That's my prediction. Is that we're gonna get the Hunter Dino cameo. She's gonna give a pep talk to like Jason. You're the Red Ranger. You gotta do it. And Pink's not so bad either. Wink. And then they go off. That's my
I
prediction.
really hope so. I want more Amelia. Even if for just a scene, I want to see her shine. Like, how cool would it be to have like Jason and Amelia team up in a fight?
That'd be good. It's gonna be other kids. It's gonna be a new set of kids.
Yeah.
But I hope that one of them is real.
We can only hope, but that show gave me high hopes for the next season, and these costumes give me even higher hopes because they look so good, and the actors look really good. So, in for a good one.
Yep. So we're gonna cover that one in our usual format of 2 episodes at a time. I don't know how many episodes there's gonna be that hasn't been revealed yet. So we'll see what happens there. And then when we finish, I don't know how we're gonna handle the wrap up. Like, does this count?
I don't know if it counts.
Are we ranking it against like other shit?
I have no idea.
I feel like it'd be hard to rank it against the seasons, but like we could rank the Rangers probably if we wanted.
Probably. How many episodes will there be in Power Rangers?
We don't know. We don't know when it's coming out. We don't know how many episodes it's gonna be.
Because it could be revealed at any time. So, and oops. What? Check out the new episode of Ninja Kidz TV season 3 is the right. Oh, that's just Ninja Kidz TV episode 3. So I thought I said season 3 of the show was already out. I was like, what? Okay, well, has a release date been confirmed?
No. Besides,
No.
like,
okay.
I think there was a range confirmed, but not a pretty broad one.
What's the range?
I know it's coming out this year.
So not too long.
That's about all I can tell you. Yeah.
Look forward to then, because there's literally only like 3 more months in the year. So 3 months max is what we're looking at. Big things happening this year when it comes to watching things. I'm so glad. Oh my god, the helmets have also been revealed, and so has Goldar. They've actually revealed. Wait, those do not look like the suits. What the hell? Okay, those do. But where's the Goldar there?
We don't need to get into the designs they can't see. We've all seen them. We saw that image when it got revealed.
Oh, yeah.
We all know that Finster looks like a Lovecraftian horror movie. That the rest of them look pretty good.
That Rita's somehow back.
Rita's back. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I was thinking about that. I'm like, Rita was like suited up next to Lord Zed as if she was evil and cool with Lord Zed in the promo image for season 3, but
like with Gold,
where we left with her in season 2, she's been betrayed by Lord Zed and she's in a crystal ball.
I love her new outfit though. I can't wait for season 3.
Is it the same lady?
Pretty sure it's the same lady. Yeah, it looks like her.
Okay, good.
I'm kind of hoping that she toned down on the like how expressionful she was. You know,
I kind of like it. Rita's not a toned down character, even in real life.
like it's accurate, yeah, but like it was a bit much.
I liked it. It reminded me a lot of Divatox, which I like. So,
she kind of looks like Divatox as well.
A little bit.
She could pass for a Divatox actress because they've already had.
Yeah, when we get Ninja Kid, we're gonna get Ninja Kidz Turbo in like 10 years. And she'll play Divatox.
Diva Fox has already been cast by 2 or 3 different people, so it wouldn't be too
True.
out there. But how long has this video been going on for? It feels like hours.
We're coming up to 3 hours, so we can go ahead and wrap it
Wow.
up. Classic Crow royalty length Megazord Radio episode.
We did it, and it only took a 2-hour series.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Nightster, where can they find you?
You can find me on my solo channel, Nightster, or on Toku Thrill with me, Riely, and some other friends talking about anything Toku related. So Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, all that good stuff. Check us out there. And where can I find you?
linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. Podcast, YouTube channels, all sorts of cool stuff for you to watch with your eyes and listen to with your ears. Check it out.
Nice.
And folks, until next time, we're morphin' out of here. It's
It's morphin'
time.